elements are beaming, traveling through the Dogon tribes. The drums are beating from Sirius. The words were founded in Sumer. My ancestors came from a known galaxy on temper, generated from a place in Congo. Spoken from the unknown. My words are transmuted from English to alien dialect, transluted inside magnets, electromagnet time travel tones from a Sumerian tablet. Exposed in words as if spoken, unspoken enchantment, reconstructing destiny. Spoken from a talismanic entrancement, loaded from the source of Saturn. Spoken from the rings of Saturn, forcing from the fields of Uranus. Spoken from the sun, beaming light coded from the solar flares. Traumatic plasma screens reinforming, deprogramming the source of the Philadelphia, reprogramming time to organic matter. Mathematically, magically equated, founded in the sources of the equator. Breaking the veils of the moon, of the full moon, destructing the lunar forces. Days of the week. The 7 days of the week are governed by the moon, lunar, which is Monday, Tuesday, which is Mars, which is mardi in French, mercredi, Mercury in French, jeudi, Jupiter, Thursday, Friday, Venus, vendredi, and Saturday, Saturn, Sunday. So we have the 7 weeks within the 7 planetary energies. I mean, should we say the 7 days, sorry. So that governs the motion of the time that we're governed under, which is Saturn, which holds the structure in place of the energy that we're governed under. So the sun in itself is projecting onto the Earth and Saturn, while Uranus is being stimulated upon another frequency of energy, which is the energy which is attuning us into this, what you call this coming age. Now they've been talking about this thing called the coming age. So the coming age is actually the representation of this Uranus energy, which is being prepared. Now, this Uranus energy which is being prepared is for the evolved man, which is evolving his mind or her mind up beyond the veils of the moon. The memory blocks then become awakened, and an electric shock begins to tune into the man, which is deciding to evolve into a higher consciousness. Thus, that energy is then transmutated into Uranus. Remember, Vulcan veiling the unevolved man. So, should I say moon veiling the unevolved man, Vulcan. And that in itself, once the Uranus energy is activated, right, it actually allows man to evolve to a higher degree, or allows man to tap into that energy, which allows man to evolve to a higher degree of consciousness, from my understanding. So in essence, we're still trying to decipher this esoteric Vedic astrology to kind of understand what is going on in between the veils. So the moon in itself governs this form of glamour. I would suggest people to now research a book called Glamour, A World Problem. When we look into that book, we can now begin deciphering what the moon is doing and how the moon is creating glamour. The moon is creating glamour. The moon is creating an illusion, toxic force of energy which is actually trapping us into a loop in time. The moon is actually also an aspect of a satellite. It's, they say, is well, they say that the Earth is a satellite of the moon, but I also believe that the moon is actually a satellite of the Earth. Okay, so there's two aspects here. So it's ironic, but it's something that we should seek to understand, which also I'm actually trying to understand also. So I guess the universe will kind of put things into place soon to make me understand this, you know. Because obviously, you know, they say that the moon was once an Earth and somehow it died, or some kind of thing happened which then created the moon in essence and became what it was. It was a living thing. well, it is still a living thing, but in its sense, it actually feeds energy. It needs energy. It's a form of vampiring energy sucker, you could say. So that's what the moon is in essence. So my breakdown is that obviously to travel time, you have to unblock the memory blocks of the moon. So the memory blocks is separate from time. But once you tap into the memory blocks, you can activate any particular time in your mind to come out of time and move into space. You know, because you then tap in, because the time is actually away from the memory is away from time, and time needs memory to create a new form of time. You know, time needs memory. Time is separate from memory, but memory is actually allowed to move away from time. Because if I was to play to you a musical track of a particular time, you'll be able to tap into that energy and remember that energy in the particular time that you're moving into. So we are in 2014 per se, in accordance to who? In accordance to the person who created this AD time 2014. But it doesn't mean we're in 2014. You know, you can access that musical note which is of a different particular time and bring it into this time zone. And now you're actually in essence changing time. Right, you're changing time. Because if we can time travel, which we can bring a particular tune of this time into a past or previous time or point of time of a previous time. And that in essence alters the time of a previous time. Right? So that's how we create a new time zone in a particular time. You know, this is very paradox language in a way, because it kind of just alters the frequency of what time is. Because when there's a new energy which comes into the earth, it's actually a memory bank which is bringing a new time zone into this place. So in essence, the planet which is veiling or this moon which is veiling these planets, Uranus and Vulcan, you know, this moon, those other planets also have a memory and also have a particular energy which alters the memory. And once those energies tap into us or tap into the earth, we then access this practical energy of the new age. Or, you know, I don't really want to call it a new age. I want to call it a particular time zone. You know, when they say the end of time, the end of time, okay, links back to the end of this paradigm or the end of this universe, paradigm thinking, and brings you into a new realm of alignment of thinking. Thinking in itself is a paradigm. Thinking is a paradigm. To be locked under the 7 days of the week is a paradigm. To be locked under the hour of thinking is a paradigm. So that in itself is a paradigm of thought process which you're thinking under. The evolution of time brings you into a new paradigm of thinking. You know, in 2012, they confused a lot of people, including myself, which trapped people into this kind of thinking that what will happen in this time. Now, they confused people to have us thinking in a particular time zone of 2012. Now, what they done was they allowed a form of destruction or creation which allowed us to think into the future, which created a new volume of time using the Philadelphia experiment. So they constructed time in accordance to their time zone. Now, the time zone that we're under is a different particular time zone which shifts of our consciousness to this new paradigm, which we are in already. Those who are tuned into it can feel its vibration moving through our time zone frequency 0 point reference, which is in a new space, right? That new space creates a new time zone. So that new space that we're in actually creates a new time zone. And this is what time is trying to tell us within itself, which is a separate entity to the memory, which allows us to tap into a new time zone, or the space within that memory that we have, which allows us to tap into a new time zone. You see, because it's the space that creates time. It's the space that creates time, you know. And that's what I wanted to express. So, yeah, I hope you kind of got a light understanding of where I was trying to go with this, and I didn't confuse you too deeply into the aspect of what time is in relations to memory, and what veils time, you know, and what veils time. So thank you, and I hope to catch you soon in these following new researches. So, yes, thank you.